Greetings to all. Welcome to Future of this Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of 25th May. So today we are going to deal with the topics of informal economy in India, cyclone and heat waves. Here informal economy in India comes under GS 3 paper, cyclone comes under GS 1 paper and heat waves comes in both GS 1 and GS3 paper. So now we are going to have a detailed analysis of these three topics. Our first topic is about informal economy in India. Under this, first of all, we have to know about what is eShram portal. It was launched in 2021. eShram portal is aimed to build a comprehensive national database of unorganized workers, that is NDUW in a country. So what it aims to register an unorganized workers such as construction laborers, migrant workforce, street vendors and domestic workers also among others. The workers will be issued e-Shram card containing 12-digit unique number. If a worker is registered on eShram portal and meets with an accident, he will be eligible for rupees 2 lakhs on death on or permanent disability and rupees 1 lakh on partial disability. The aim of the portal is to boost the last mile delivery of the welfare schemes for over unorganized workers in the country. Now we have to know about the background of this eShram portal. The eShram portal came after the Supreme Court directed the government to complete the registration process of unorganized workers and that can be do a welfare benefits given under the various government schemes. The government have implemented these in states and other union territories will conduct a registration of unorganized workers across the country. Now what are the scenarios of informal sector workers in India? First, we have to know about the social category analysis. Nearly 94% of 27.69 crore informal sector workers registered on the eShram portal, which have monthly income of rupees 10,000 or below. Over 74% of enrolled workforce belongs to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes. Now, age-wise analysis we have to see under this. 61.72% of the registered workers on the portal are of age from 18 years to 40 years, while 22.12% are from age group of 40 to 50 years. Now, the proportion of the registered workers aged above 50 years is nearly 13.23%, while 2.93% of workers are aged between 16 to 18 years. So, in gender wise, nearly 52.81% of registered workers are female and 47% are male. We have top 5 states in terms of registration in such as first is UP, next Bihar, West Bengal and fourth is Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. It is the top 5 states for the terms of this eShram portal registration. Now, what is the state of informal economy is in India? We have to know about that. An informal economy represents enterprises that are not registered where employers do not provide social security to employees. So in many parts of the developing world, including India, informality has reduced at a very sluggish pace, manifesting itself most visible in urban squalor, poverty and employment. So, witnessing a rapid economic growth over the last 2 decades, 90% of workers in India have remained informally employed, producing about half of gross domestic product. So, officially, periodic labor force, that is PLFS, Data shows that nearly 75% of informal workers are self-employed and casual wage workers with average earnings lower than regular salaried workers. Now, what are the challenges seen in this informal sector? The challenges are labor-related challenges such as long working hours, low pay and difficult working conditions, also low job security, high turnover and low job satisfaction, inadequate social security regulation, difficulty in exercising rights, child and forced labor and discrimination on basis of various factors, and vulnerable, low paid and undervalued jobs. So these are some of the labor related challenges. This is the first challenge. Next is productivity. The informal sector basically comprises MSMEs and household business, which are not as big firms with reliance. They are unable to take advantage of economies of the scale. It is the second challenge. First challenge is labor related challenges. Next is productivity. The third is inability to rise tax revenue. So, as the businesses of the informal economy are directly regulated, they usually avoid one or more taxes by hiding incomes and expenses from the regulatory framework. So, the next challenges is lack of control and surveillance. So, the informal sector remains unmonitored by the government. The next challenge is low quality products. The informal sector employs more than 75% of Indian population. The value addition per employee is very low. This means that major portion of our human resources underutilized. Now, what are all the related initiatives seen in with this informal sector are there are several schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandana, that is PMSYM, then Labor Code, next Pradhan Mantri Rajgar Protsahan Yojana, that is PMRPY, next PM Swanidhi Microcredit Scheme for Street Vendors, next Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, next Deen Dayal Antodaya Yojana National Urban Livelihoods Mission. Next came as PM Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. Next One Nation One Ration Card. Next Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana. And next is Pradhan Mantri Kishan Samman Nidhi. And finally the World Bank support to India's informal working class. So these are some of the related initiatives according with the informal economy in India. Our next topic is cyclone. In this, we have to know about what is cyclone. So, cyclone is termed as atmospheric disturbance. Cyclones are the centers of the low pressure. Also, they are surrounded by closed isobars having increasing pressure outward. The wind circulation is from outside towards the central pressure. They rotate anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. The inward inflow of air due to pressure gradient force and the lowest pressure is at the center. Due to Coriolis force, blowing winds are deflected from their paths rightwards in the northern hemisphere and leftward in the southern hemisphere. There are two types of cyclones, that is temperate cyclone. Another one is tropical cyclone. This temperate cyclone is also called as extratropical cyclone or wave cyclone. So about this cyclone topic, we have already discussed in our daily current affairs video in the date of May 17. To get more clarification, you can see that video. So our next topic is heat waves. So we have to know about what is heat waves and what are the factors is responsible for increasing those heat waves, and what are the government actions have taken related to heat waves, or we are going to discuss under this topic. The heat waves in India have become a more severe and intense, having severe effect on human health. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted an increase in maximum temperature and the frequency of heat waves in the forthcoming days over eastern and southern India. So, the heat waves are prolonged periods of excessively hot weather that can cause adverse impacts on human health, environment, and also in the economy. So, in India, Indian Meteorological Department defines heat wave as based on some of the following categories. They are under the first category is physiographical of religions. In plain, the maximum temperature recorded at a station is 40 degrees Celsius. In plain, it recorded 40 degree Celsius. In coastal areas, that is in coast, it have been recorded as 37 degree Celsius. In hills, it is recorded as 30 degree Celsius, and based on the departure from normal temperature, the heat range varies. The heat wave departure from normal is 44.5 degrees Celsius to 6.4, and severe heat wave is from above 6.4 degrees Celsius. Now, based on actual maximum of temperature, the heat wave is like 45 degrees Celsius, and when if it is severe heat, it is greater than 47 degree Celsius. Now, what is the status of heat waves in India? India has been affected by the heat waves since a long time. During the last few decades, due to an increased instance of climate change, the impact of heat waves have also enhanced quite significantly. States like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh have been affected mostly due to this heat waves. According to our Indian Meteorological Department, from 1981 to 1990, there are 413 heat wave days in India. These heat waves days have increased to 600 days between 2011 to 2020. The number of deaths from heat related causes increased from 5,457 between 1981 to 1990. Now it have been increased to 11,555 between 2011 to 2020. Now, what are all the natural factors that increase the heat waves in India? The first one is high atmospheric pressure. Next, climate variability. Third, drought and dry conditions. Fourth, changes in wind patterns. Fifth, geography and topography. So these are the some of the natural sources for responsible for the heat waves. And what are the human induced factors? They are first global warming, second urban heat island effect. So these are the human factors include for heat waves. Now, what are all the impacts have been seen in under these heat waves are it impacts on human health, also impact on energy, impact on economy, impact on water resources, also it impacts on the food security. So these are some of the impacts of heat waves. According to this, what are the government actions have been taken to rectify these heat waves are effective implementation of heat wave plan have been set up. Also, the sustainable cooling, heat wave mitigation plans such as like access to drinking water, oral rehydration sources, shade at public places, and flexible things have been taken place. Also, focus on vulnerable groups like prioritizing protecting high risk groups like children, pregnant women, the elderly, and people with chronic diseases. Also, like making awareness campaigns. About 100 districts have been initiated campaigns to raise awareness about this heat wave risk and precautions. So, these are some of the government actions. So, that's all from today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. The website's link have been given in our description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.